Hello, my virtual nibblings. Uncle Crochater here with Storytime Saturday, Episode 3. The Man Who Didn't Understand a Farm. Because I can't think of anything else to title it other than that. So, a long time ago, in 2020, I had a job doing surveys. And it's not like I was taking the survey. No, I was going door to door asking people to participate in a survey about the local water company. And every time someone participated in this survey, at the end of it, we had to ask, are there any comments or questions you would like me to write down? And most of the stuff I got was, things like, why couldn't this have been a phone call? Why not just call me about this? And my best answer was, I guess they thought this was a better way. One guy asked, how come you guys don't have business cards? And I explained to him, we don't work, I'm not actually part of the water company. I'm part of a completely different set of people that are just hired to do this survey. He goes, well, you should still have a business card. I'm like, dude, it's my first day. No one has a business card on their first day. And he just would not let this business card thing go. But that's not what we're here to talk about. No. One house that I went to, this is an older man, looks like a 50s or 60s. And he is just all kinds of angry. Like, the whole time he is noticeably pissed. And I'm just standing there hoping that it's not me that he's pissed at. Because I don't know his life. And as I get to the end of the survey, and I ask him, are there any questions or comments you would like me to write down here? The question he asked was, how come regular folks like you and me are constantly told we can't water our lawns or wash our cars? How come we're always told we can't use water, but the damn farms are allowed to use hundreds of gallons of it on a daily basis? I was really not sure how to go about answering that. I'm just like, okay, I will write that down for you, sir. And all I wrote down was, this man doesn't know how farms work. Like, I wrote his question and then wrote in parentheses, I don't think he knows how farms work. And I left it at that. But in my mind, like, the rest of that workday, it kept creeping back up in my mind. I'm like, how does he not know why these farms need all that water? Like, what does he think a farm does? Does he think you don't give animals water? Does he think you don't need to water all those crops? Like, what is going on in this guy's head? But at the same time, I know that I can't go back to him and ask, because even if he is there, I already forgot his name, and even if I knew his name, if I confront him about this, there's no way I'm surviving. I am standing here wandering the streets by myself, and yes, I was by myself. There were two guys that were supposed to watch me because it was my first day, but they both abandoned me immediately. So, if anyone watching this that was involved in that, in my workday that day, there you go, those two are assholes. And, as I'm wandering the street that day, I'm just thinking to myself, how common is it that people over the age of 7 don't know what a farm does. Because as far as I'm concerned, by the time you start kindergarten, you should know what a farm does. You should know that food comes from farms. You know, hell, when I was 5, just started kindergarten, even that early, I knew that food came from farms. You know, chicken farms, cows, dairy farms. I didn't know all the different types of farms. I just knew that farms have animals and plants and they make food. But that alone should be enough for you to figure out, oh, hey, farms make food. You need water to make that food. Therefore, farm need water. That should be all you need to know. But I guess this guy just never knew that. Or maybe he did and he was just messing with me. Like, I still, to this day, occasionally think about that. Because you gotta remember, that man votes. Whenever you see someone this dumb, always try to think to yourself, this person probably voted. Or will vote, or has voted. Like, this person is a voter. Now, sure, he's just one man. He's just one very stupid man. But there are more people like him. There's no way he's alone with this. As much as I hate to think about it, statistically speaking, there's no way he's the only person living in a city and doesn't know what a farm does. There's gotta be multiple people like that. And they have a voice in how our country is run. That guy has input. And I'm sorry, if you're so stupid that you don't know that why farms need more water than your typical family household, I don't think you should be voting. You're just honestly, that guy should not be voting. Anyone that stupid should not have input on how to run a country. And it haunts me. It really does. There are certain memories of throughout my life that just occasionally come back to the front of my mind and haunt me. And that is one of them. When it comes to stupid people, that's one of the guys that I think about sometimes. Not because I want to, but because I'm worried. For those who don't know, I have a lot of issues with anxiety, and every now and then when I'm thinking about where the country is going, I think about the fact that people like this guy have input. And I'm not saying all men, I'm not saying all Americans, but I am saying there's a decent chunk of people that are this stupid. You know, whether they're man, woman, American, Asian, whatever. You know, I don't care what demographic they are. Just the fact that there are people out there that are this dumb. And it's not like this was a 5-year-old telling me this. No, this man was like 50 or 60, if I had to guess. So if you can be retirement age and not understand how farms work, I kind of want to know how he made it that far in life. You know what I mean? You know, that's like if I, as a YouTuber, ask somebody, why do I need a microphone? I know why I need a microphone. I'm using a microphone right now. I'm using the microphone built into my phone. But I, as a YouTuber, understand like why you want to be good at editing video, why you want to be good at graphic design, why you'd want to be good at all these things to run a social media channel. But if somebody were to come up to me and ask, hey, why does it matter what font I use? I can give them that answer. But in the position of this job where I'm told you have to be as nice as possible to everybody, in my mind I'm like, I really don't want to deal with this. You know, I was already scared because I'm walking the streets by myself in the evening. So that's already bad enough. And now I've got this guy who looks and sounds like he's about ready to beat the mixed shit out of the next guy who gives him lip. So for me, it was self-preservation to just keep my mouth shut, write down his comment, and move to the next house. But in all honesty, if it weren't for that, like if he was totally calm and still raised that question, I probably would have told him something along the lines of, well, you know, farms grow food, you need water to make the food. And I would have said it while walking away. But because this guy was already mad, I'm just like, I don't want to make this any worse than it needs to be. Because I'm just going to make him madder. And I don't want that. Anyway, that's like 5 tangents in a row talking about this guy. If you guys have ever had an idiot like that, if you ever had to deal with an idiot like that while at your job, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear your stories. You know, I love hearing stories about idiots at work. My dad used to tell me some of his. It actually got so bad that one of his coworkers, he and I just called him dumbass. Because I could never remember the guy's name, but I knew that if I asked him, hey, anything from dumbass, he knew who I was talking about. So it just became an inside nickname, was that my dad and I just called him dumbass. But yeah, so I'm going to let you guys go for now. I will see y'all on Monday with a new episode of Multiverse Monday. But until then, bye-bye.